Anyway, now we're into another area which I don't really like too much because Navi comes out with this whole, you never know what will be around the corner in these narrow paths. Use the ZR or the ZL button to always look around the proper direction. That's a useful technique, isn't it? Yeah, it would be a useful technique if the game was always like, hey, you gotta be for yourself all the way back behind the camera every time. Again, I think that in later Zelda games, especially like, you know, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they basically got rid of the whole idea the camera needs to be fixed behind you at all times. And I would tell you, having a game where you couldn't really change the camera would probably be kind of a horrendous endeavor. Also, in fact, this room's got a lot of chests in it. It's slight annoyance. Especially this right here. You have to basically somehow get the bomb to stay up there to either blow up when you throw it or basically get it jammed behind the ladder. It's a little tricky to pull off. There you go. Should I say tricky and I get it off second try. Always about those second tries, right? And now, these things. Yep, we got those eye switches. Now, this is basically kind of for the tutorial. You shoot off one, and you only have one to deal with. Also, I kind of feel like these caves here are kind of like, you know, bones. Like we're going through Dodongo's body right here. It's a little, it's like, these are kind of like scales almost, like, ugh. Like, these don't look like rocks. These look like a inside of a Dodongo right here, like a really big one that didn't have legs or something. Because those right there, the roof here kind of looks like it's the top of a spine or a bottom of a spine. That's a real odd thing to say about it. Oh, and now we got ourselves a second term of this. It's the Lizalfos duo again. I told you they'd be back. But this time they're in kind of a little bit harder, because the area around us is kind of deep and hard in lava a little bit. But again, they do the same tactic, so you just have to just go to them to attack you and then just wait for them to disappear. Now these guys will try to, like, again, do the same thing they did before. They just don't want to do the team up, because that's how the game was technically programmed. In this game, they were trying to figure out how do you attack enemies in 3D, and they came up with this kind, I think it's like a Japanese movie style, I think, where they basically have one character to focus on the other. So it means that only really one enemy will actually just attack you at once each time. I guess it's a way to handle people into actually playing in 3D, but I believe they kind of stopped doing that after, say, Twilight Princess, I want to say, where they decided to basically let enemies attack you constantly without any rules to the rules of combat. But I guess for a first attempt and everything to make 3D combat, they had to make it kind of simple for the player to understand. If you want to walk all the way out there for hearts, you can, but if you do fall, you go back to the little area where the Lizalfos were before. So bear that in mind as you go around here. Now we got ourselves the test. You hit this eye here, and you see that only one goes down. If you come over here and activate this, you have to activate another switch over here. Now, these switches are actually on timers, so bear that in mind. So if you wait too long, the fire goes up, and you can burn yourself. Of course. I believe in the manga, Link does go into the Dodongo's cavern, but it's really shortened, I think. I think in the manga specifically, like all Zelda mangas, I think they really reduced the time you're inside of a dungeon. I guess they just really couldn't figure out a way to make a dungeon long enough to actually count as this full story. And that's why the whole games are everything. But anyway, we got ourselves our bombs. Now we can explode things. Now we can blow stuff up. Heck yeah. Now we can do what we want to do. That's the whole point. We hit this button right here, and somehow this is a mechanical pillar that was being pushed up by lava initially, and now it's mechanical. And we also have the L is real graphic from Mario 64. Put it right here to use as actual text for talking. Giant dead Dodongo. When it sees red, a new way will be open. A new way, you say? Well, it's only fair that we put our bombs on. Let's see. Bombs will put you on the Ocarina button. I see, that's one thing about the 3DS version, is that they gave the Ocarina its own button. because you have to use it so much. I'm like, that's a great idea. Something that they would, no, not really expand on, but that's only did for the 3DS games. Like, they never really gave a button, you know, a dedicated button to the actual music instrument. I was actually curious about this recently, about, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, if there was essentially a musical instrument that would have been played in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom that Link would obtain, what would that be? I'm almost thinking that there would have been, like, since there's a lot of piano pieces, since like Link is just carrying around a big old piano. Oh no! I should have dropped the bomb. Again, you only have 20 bombs to deal with, but you can easily get the bigger bomb bags by doing, you know, extra secret stuff and everything. So bear in mind on that. And a ruby, that would actually be a shield. That's the weird thing about this game, too, is that anytime there would be a shield, if it's already an item before it collected, then you can't recollect again because you can't really have multiple same shields everywhere. So the game is like, okay, we need to have this thing to bring you something. It's kind of like a fail-safe in that regard, where it's like, if we already have a shield, or at least the Kakariko shield, at least I think that's how it's programmed. Like, if you don't have a Kakariko shield at this point, with that switch on, the main platform goes higher. Now you can click. Navi, I already saw that. You don't. Here, bringing this, sticking them obvious here, Navi. I was about to make the jump, and I barely made that because I didn't roll. I was going to roll and get around there, but I was like, nope. We need to get back into here. This is our second portion of the dungeon. So we go inside the Dodongo. Apparently, this is what so technically, we're actually inside. See, the fact is, that's what I was saying about the path earlier. About is that we were in some type of Dodongo in the upper level. Like, this entire cavern was all made by... This cavern is not natural. This cavern was made out of the ancient Dodongos. Like, that seems a little creepy. I'll say that much. It's like, nope. Come on, dude. There you go. I'll take your heart, thank you. It's like, this entire dungeon is not naturally made. It's basically, we're walking inside of a corpse. And I thought the Shadow Temple was dark and gritty. Goodness. We're actually going through the kind of like arms of the ancient Dodongo so what, did the Dodongo just dig inside the ground? I would imagine that was the case. And I love how the keys basically have like this yellow glow to them, on top of them being on fire. Get us that they are two different enemies, and though we will be getting another version of them that will transport us and change us into ice. Slight annoyance, just a slight here. Let's see. I'm thinking that area over there is a area that you can get to by pushing the block down. But I don't remember what's behind there, or it's something that's required to use like a item later. I suspect it's something of an item later. I think you might need a boomerang for that, I think. But also, speaking of things I need, you know, a little bottle. Now, I technically should have 2 balls by this point, but I decided not to go to into the farm until later. But we got ourselves a fairy in a bottle. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to the buttons. This tiny fairy is a reliable partner who will revive you at the moment you run out of life energy. It's too bad Navi doesn't do that, man. What are you, Navi? What are you good for? I'm good for navigation. Well, that is your name by technicality. Is a navigation, your navigation. But yeah, one of my favorite is like Navi can't just revive me. It's so weird. Man, this is so weird. Like, yeah, what is the Dodongo? What even is this dungeon? This cave is just ancient Dodongos, and all the smaller Dodongos are I guess that means they're all. So like they're not just kings. It's not a King Dodongo and everything. No, this is a Dodongo. This is a legend Dodongo. Will you stop hitting me? Goodness, you're making me waste all my bullets on this. Come on, dude. See, I would love to see if the lock-on to actually get a little bit longer range. I mean, there are times where basically you feel like that it has infinite range to lock on to enemies. Then you get times like this where like you clearly can see the enemy and it doesn't really lock on. Anyway, we have to push this boulder, this block, into the hole so that it would hold down a pressure always on switch to basically open up our door. And we get ourselves to our next boss. Yep, we're already at the boss. That's gonna be like the final time we're gonna be doing that for a while, because after this, it's a lot of story stuff later on. Oh boy. Alright, let's go see the boss. Now, this boss is supposed to be epic, right? The fact is that the game gives you this. It gives you a chance to give you bombs. This means that if your bomb bag is empty, it's gonna give you bombs. Though the boss arena does give you the option to use bomb flowers instead. But I'll tell you right now, the only items you need is sticks and the bombs. That's all you need for this dungeon. And also, this is kind of like the same room as in Minish Cap. You know? Where you enter the room and you have to drop down. So this time you had to bomb it this time. Then we jump down here and we get ourselves to our next boss arena. And by golly, when this game doesn't run at its smoothest frame rate, this feels like this takes forever to load. But I love that. It's like Link is just in awe when we see the biggest Dodongo ever. Infernal Dinosaur, King Dodongo! Oh, here he goes. Now, his speed is that he doesn't like bombs. We jump right here, take 2 sticks. Yep, that's 1 stick. Alright, core. Okay, you can miss me right there. This is like one of the easiest bosses of the game, because this boss can die in 2 hits, technically. You throw a bomb in his mouth. Now, why wasn't it Deku? There you go. Boss is done. 2 sticks. I say it's much easier than it's a lot easier, to be fair. This boss fight is supposed to be a lot more. It's like, I was like, Drew's like, I can't defeat this thing. What do we do? And Link, you just see Link just give him a stick. He's like, take this. You're gonna need it as a stick. And Drew's like, what's a stick gonna do? Watch me. So that's it. And again, this arena is the exact same as in the Minish Cap. Because it says it's the exact same arena. Minish Cap well, this is not Mount Crenel. I'll tell you that much. This is not Mount Crenel, this is Death Mountain. Goodness. Well, let's get out of here. Zoom out. Hey! I'm glad they get knocked right out of the end here. Apparently killing that one big Dodongo basically makes the entire dungeon or cave area really easy open up for everyone else to enter here. Oh, hey, Darunia! It's me, Darunia! Well done! Ow, my spine! Thanks to you, we can eat once the delicious rocks from the Dodongo's cavern until our stomachs burst. Technically, you're eating a corpse! Oh! What a wild adventure! It'll make an incredible story. I can't believe that the Dodongos suddenly appeared in such great numbers. And that big rock blocking the cave? Yes, we could have probably eaten that rock, but we have delicate tastes. All this trouble must have been caused by that Gerudo thief Ganondorf. He said, give me the spiritual stone. Only then I will open up the cave for you. I feel like his plan kind of backfires because the Dodongos could have just thrown a bomb right at it and done it. You, on the hand, you risked your life for us. Kid, I like you. How about you and I become sworn brothers? No, there's no big ceremony involved. Just take this as a token of our friendship. In some lore, this is probably the lifeblood of us is using this ruby. But you know what? You definitely earn it. So here you go. Ruby obtained for you there. And so that's, we get ourselves our second stone, the Goron's Ruby. It's not even a full object, it's just energy just thrown around on a polygon. That's weird. You obtained the Goron's ruby. This is a spiritual stone of fire passed down by the Gorons. Actually, it's kind of weird. The ruby does look like it's some type of fire being lit inside of a brazier. It's actually kind of interesting, actually. You don't know what he means by sworn brothers, but hey, you collected 2 perishable stones. You have 1 more to find. Ha ha. Brother, you'll keep brushing up on your skills as you travel, won't you? You should go see the great fairy on top of Death Mountain. She will power you up. Hey, everybody, let's see if our brother... Huh? What? Whoa. You did great. How about a big Goron hug, brother? No! My spine just reconfigured itself. I don't want it reconfigured again. Anyway, now we're done with Dodongo's Cavern, and now the game wants us to climb Death Mountain. Because now that we have bombs, there's a lot of things that we can do right now, and the game's kind of forcing us to go up this way, by technicality, of course. Let's see, we go and get a bomb here, put it right there. This is kind of finicky on multiple different levels, though. Like the bomb, they want to get us the bomb to stuck behind the rock here. Oh, ow, I was supposed to throw it. And sometimes the bomb does not want to go behind the rock. Again, it's like, this is kind of like finicky. Like you're supposed to throw it when the bomb's about to explode, right? And the timing's a little off at times. I shouldn't have really have much trouble. Like, come on, that bomb should explode on there. Why am I having trouble with this bomb? There you go. Oy vey. We'll jump up here. Now, there's a place we need to go to later on, but we'll get to that later. So we can get ourselves a big wall and everything. But that means if we actually do get it. Anyway, Death Mountain is a volcano, and just like itself, it's gotta watch out for these rocks that drop down on you. Technically, by technicality and realistic terms, this would have really killed you. Yeah, you may be blocking this, but your body is still soft. So, the shield would actually kind of be a hindrance to your technicality. But there's big rocks always spawns on top of you on a weird basis here. Like, you can probably try to avoid this as much as you can, but... Oh boy, but if you get up too close to here, the rocks should stop. Or they should be, anyway. But like, when you get next to this wall here, you don't have to worry about the rocks falling down. Apparently, the volcano is just active when it's right there for some reason. Although this wall is kind of a little bit annoying. And it's like, it may not be annoying now, but wait until we actually have to do something for a particular side quest later on that requires us to eventually get up here in a really fast point of time. And unfortunately, the item that you get later on later on in the game doesn't help you climb this particular wall. Instead, it helps out a wall later on in one dungeon. It's like, why? Oh, but here we go. Oh, yeah, I know this place. I was hoping for hearts, actually. Let's go into the cavern, actually. This will actually help us out a little bit. Yep, let's go in here. Inside the crater. Now, this place is kind of hot, to a certain degree, of course. But, there's a Skulltula in here. If you really want that. The dark one. I was hoping to have a health portion up here, but, yeah, if you, well, I need to get health, though. But you don't have enough health in here, you immediately will die by the heat. The timer on there is basically referred to how many hearts you have. So let's go see the Great Fairy first. I think she'll heal us here. I thought first when I was first playing this game, I thought the Great Fairy was actually in the crater, but no, she's right here. And now we must play a musical tune, Zelda's Lullaby, and this is gonna be the most used song you're gonna be playing the entire game. Anytime you see a Triforce on the ground, it's Zelda's Lullaby. Not too hard at all. I was trying to go into the crater there and try to get a heart piece early, which you can do. It is feasible. You just need to have full hearts to do it. just so you have the extra time. But anyway, here's the Great Fairy. And she is basically part naked. I'm shocked, because this is when the ERCB was roughly around the time, and surprisingly, this got past the censors. I'm actually quite shocked by this. Welcome, Alexman. I'm the Great Fairy of Power. I'm going to grant you a sword technique. Receive it now. There you go. They try to get away with that. She's technically wearing leaves. She's basically, it's a leaf bikini that she's wearing, by technicality, of course. And and basically after this, you mastered the technique of the spin attack. Hold B to charge your weapon. Release B to unleash a wave of energy with your spin. But now you have magic power to do as well now. But now you can do this. If you rotate the stick once and press B, you can have a very effective quick spin. When you charge power for a spin attack, magic power will be consumed. Pay attention to your green magic meter. Hey boy, you're a messenger of the royal family, aren't you? I guess. Maybe? Next time you're in the neighborhood, you should drop by on a friend of mine who lives by Hyrule Castle. She'll surely grant you another new power. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. You know, technically, she's like one of the least visited fairies. I think most of the great fairies you visit only really once. And then that's it, really, because there's so many good healing items, you don't really need them. Alright, as we walk around, I'm going to basically try this again now that I've got full health. I'm going after a heart piece. It's a little bit fast. Yeah, see, I've got 40 seconds to do this in. Now, this is kind of a weird spot where this heart piece is. Oh yeah, they try to prevent you from, so we drop down and climb right here, and you get yourself a heart piece. Piece of heart. With another piece, your energy will be powered up. That means our third one. And you know what? I'm just gonna drop in the lava. You drop in the lava, you get sent back to the starting point, and you get to leave. Very easy in that regard. Alright. Hoot hoot, well, looks like you've grown up a little from the Great Fairy's power. But you still don't really look like the hero who will save Hyrule. At least not yet. If you are going back down the mountain, I can lend you a wing. Come and grab my talons. You said I'd lend you a wing, not talons. Where's my rocks cape in this? Ugh, fine. So you just need to wait for him to get into position and automatically picks you up. And this mountain is massive. It's too bad we don't get to see much more of this mountain. Oh, hi, Goron, that you're loaded right there for some reason. But, like, this whole mountain range is so big. And also, the Navi is still right there. I just noticed that. Navi is still at the top of the mountain. You forgot Navi! But yeah, the owl will basically, bring you on top of this house here. Which we want to drop down. It's a little finicky. Okay, drop down right here. And go inside this wall right here. Let's go into this house, which has another piece of heart for us! And you've completed our heart container! Now we're up to 6 hearts. Well, that's gonna be a nice thing of a change of pace. Alright, let's see. How many of the gold Skulltulas do I actually have? I have 8 of them. If I got 2 more, I would be able to get, I think, another upgrade. But let's go check on them, though, but just to be safe. The House of Skulltula is an odd-looking place, I'll say the least here. We all look like this because of the spider's curse. If every spider of the curse in the entire world were destroyed, the curse would be broken. When you destroy a spider of the curse, a token will appear. Collect as a proof of your achievement. The number next to this icon on the quest status subscreen indicates how many spiders of the curse you have destroyed so far, and there's 100 of them. When this icon is displayed next to the name of the area on the map subscreen, there are no more spiders in that area. Oh. Look for them offered out in the open, but also from inside dungeons as well. Of course, this is just our dream. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you break the curse on my family, we'll make you a very rich. Rich? I'm already rich now. Yeah, like I said, if you get all 100 of the gold Skulltulas in the entire game for both eras, Yeah, you get yourselves into, you get yourself a kind of a unique set piece. Oh, here we go. Here's our first instance of the magic jar. It fills up magic meter stuff. So, I think it's only fair, before we get to the next area of the game, is that we kinda... Let's see, can we actually hit... I think this tree's got a Skulltula in it. No, it doesn't. Okay. You get bombs right there. Now, bomb drops are going to be a thing from now on in the game, so bear that in mind. I think it's only fitting that we go and, let's go see about getting some extras, shall we? Get a few things cleaned up before we get to our next story beat.